Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, no matter where you are, no matter what time it is when you're watching. Hey friend, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something I haven't done before. It's called Lewks in the Library, where we're going to be doing our makeup while listening to a very mature audience only book. So before I get into that, I've been doing a series where I'm using the palettes that I haven't used in a while. Today's feature palette is going to be from Glamlite. And I'm going to be doing a blue look today that goes with the hat, which you can find at Crafted Contours. You can either message me or DM them directly on Instagram to place your order. So without further ado, let's get started. Today's featured book is Old Thot Next Door by Quan Mills. It says it's going based off the speed I have. It's 9 hours and 13 minutes. So once a week I'm going to be filming this, and maybe we'll get it done within a month we'll be finished with the book. But I wanted to do this series because I wanted to do something creative while doing my makeup because it's gotten very stale. So if you're ready, so am I. I'm going to get started, play the book, and do my makeup.
Chapter 1. Baby, let me tell you one motherfucking thing. I don't give a damn what you think about me and my age. Yeah, I might be 76 years old, but this big, thick pussy between my toned brown legs, don't act like it. Don't let the gray hairs fool you now. My name is Vernita Ernestine Washington, and I ain't ashamed to admit that I love to drink brown liquor, smoke good reefer, and most definitely get my fuck on. You heard that right. Yep, I loves to ride me a big old black dick. Age ain't nothing but a number, baby doll. My body feels like I'm still 40, and you best believe I fuck like I'm still 40. If you're blessed to live a long life, you'll see just exactly what I mean. Now, for all you young folks out there, I can let you in on the secret if you're wondering what I do to stay so young and vibrant. If you think going to the health club every day is my secret, then you guessed wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. I do get my little workout in at the health club to stay in shape. But truth be told, I really go to look at them fine young men's they be having up in there. If you think my secret is watching what I eat, then you guessed wrong again. Baby, I gets down in the kitchen, and I sure love me some Popeye's chicken. Baby, get me a 2-piece dog, spicy with a side of Cajun rice after a good dig down, and my sexy ass will be in heaven. And speaking of heaven, no, my secret to being youthful ain't staying prayed up. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the Lord and I pay my tithes, but I don't let the church...
Pause. Not she loved the Lord. Alrighty then. I'ma just keep pressing play. Alexa, play.
Shit, half of them act like they 90 years old. And most, if not all, the people that go to my church are way younger than me. Baby, let me tell you what my number one secret is. You ready? Hold on now, get a little closer. My number one secret to living a long, happy, healthy life is making sure I surround myself with some young folks. And by young folks, I mean some young dicks. And when I say young, I ain't talking 50 or 40. Baby, I'm talking young. Between the ages of 20 and 30.
I know you are.
Call me a nasty woman. Call me a predator if you want to. But riding some young dick is truly what regulates my blood pressure and keeps my cholesterol down.
I'm screaming.
And that is why I have me not one, but 2 young dicks on their way to my place. Whoop, there it is. That was my doorbell. Coming. I yelled as I hopped off my couch, sprinting toward the front door. Just right on time, 'cause my pussy was ready to get this party started. I didn't even bother to put no real clothes on this early Saturday evening. I was already in my nice, sexy black lingerie I had ordered off the Amazon. I knew this outfit would mess up Markel's young, gullible mind once I opened this door, too. Peeping out the peephole, I took a quick scan just to make sure it was my double dick appointment. And surely it was. Hallelujah! I was blessed and highly favored to have these.
Pause. Jesus Christ. Oh God, this is page 1. God. I should not be sober. Also, by the way, I'm currently on FaceTime with my good sis Key, and she's listening to this as well. If y'all can see her face. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. I swear this is like page 1. She done used God, the church, young dick, double dick. Hallelujah. Woo, Alexa, play.
Fine-looking young men come lay their burden down on me.
Alrighty.
I quickly swung the front door to my townhouse open. Afternoon, I uttered with a big-ass smile stretched across my face. Child, you should have seen how suddenly Mikayla and this other sexy-ass young man looked surprised. Guess they didn't think I'd opened the door already ready to get my fuck on. This sexy-ass nigga gasped, clutching his mouth. Yo, damn, it's like that? Mikayla smilingly exclaimed, rubbing his hard, muscular hands together. He scanned me up and down. His eyes were glued to every square inch of my body. Yo, this who we finna tag? The other sexy young man chimed in as he too clutched his mouth with his right fist. Man, she old as fuck.
Oh my God.
All of a sudden I could feel my blood boiling, and a look of anger instantly grew on my face. I know they saw how mad I suddenly got. Old? Boy, your mammy is old.
Oh
I ain't old.
Okay.
Mikayla smacked his teeth and said, Man, chill the fuck out, Will. Trust me, Miss Vanita on point, bruh. The other young nigga shook his head. I don't know about this, though. Shit, this gonna be weird as fuck. Can we have this conversation on the inside at least? I said. Y'all letting all my cool air out.
Oh, please.
Mikayla glanced over at this Will friend of his, nodding affirmatively. Come on, bruh, trust me. We finna have some fun. Miss Vanita a vet.
Oh my God. My God on today.
Will reluctantly muttered, and then the two of them walked inside my place. Although it was nearly 6 p.m., it was the middle of August, so the sun was blazing. Chicago felt like it was on fire.
Not that in Chicago.
As long as I'd been living, I ain't never felt the city to get this hot. But baby, I wasn't gonna let this hot ass weather deter me from getting what I needed at the moment. I was perfectly content with staying in my place and riding these dicks for hours and hours. You hear me? Both Mikayla and Will were wearing black tank tops, exposing their tatted up muscular arms and shoulders. They looked like some straight up gang members. But ooh, baby, Miss Vanita just loved her some roughneck street niggas. Straight out of jail, too. I want that first post-release nut.
Oh my God.
Mikayla and Will had a little sweat glinting from their round shoulders, so I presumed they'd just come back from the gym. Mikayla was a little old chocolate stallion with Pacific Ocean waves sitting on top of his head. He had broad shoulders, cut-up arms, and a chest that looked like it was harder than steel. Standing at around 5'10", his young, sexy ass looked like he was a good 200 pounds of all muscle. And baby, let me tell you, that dick of his weighed about a good 200 pounds, too.
Dear God in heaven.
Ooh, child. I was getting moist just thinking about the good time I was about to have.
Alexa, pause. The way the word moist just makes my skin crawl. Please. Alexa, play.
Young man, Will, reminded me of that sexy, fine, light-skinned boy that plays on that show that comes on cable. What's the name of it again? How? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That drug dealer boy with the beard.
Not Ghost.
Ghost. Yeah, that's right. That's his name. I almost forgot. Child, before I forget, I need to take my fish oil and ginkgo biloba pills.
Not fish oil.
You know, when you get up in age, your memory sometimes gets a little fuzzy.
Please.
With the both of them in front of me, we marched straight into my living room. Y'all sit down and make yourself comfortable. I'm finna go get the reefer and the Henny. Y'all smoking, right? Will's hazel eyes shot wide open in shock. He looked at Markel. Oh, she for real? Yes, bruh, she cool. I'm telling you, bruh. Will looked at me smiling. Damn, hell yeah, I'm smoking. What you got, some joints or something? I raised my brow. Nigga, don't try me. I might be old, but baby, I smokes nothing but blunts. Backwoods, matter of fact. I got them Russian creams in the back.
Oh, my Lord.
Speaking of cream, I could feel my pussy getting juicier than a fresh pot roast. Oh, shit, Granny a thot. Will shouted, jumping up and down. What did you say? I turned my face up. I'd be damned if this young nigga was gonna disrespect me in my house. Markel nudged Will in his shoulder. Bruh. Will quickly got his act together and stood still. My bad. He apologized. That's what I thought. Anyways, I'm finna go run to my room right quick and get the reefer. Y'all make yourself comfortable, I said as I spun on my high heels and sauntered down my hallway to my bedroom. Now, you might be wondering how I met Markel. Well, let me give you the backstory. I met Markel at my fitness club, the LA Fitness, right there on 47th Street in Kenwood. That's the south side of Chicago. He was the personal training sales manager. Funny thing was, he tried to run game on me and thought he was going to get me with those expensive-ass training packages, but baby, I wasn't going. Not at all. Yeah, I might be getting a nice little pension from the DMV and Social Security, but I'd be damned if I was going to spend $1,200 a month for some personal training sessions. Shit, I was fine with just walking on the treadmill and doing my calisthenics. However, Markel was a little hustler, so he offered me home personal training sessions on the side, so long as I didn't run my mouth to corporate. He said he could get in big trouble if they found out he was training people on the side. So I agreed. But I only agreed because I could see in Markel's eyes that I could make him a victim to my good, tender pussy. Lo and behold, 2 home training sessions later, I seduced his ass and put this moist pink monkey of mine on him. Child, I had to let that young man know Miss Bonita still had that snapback.
Oh, my God.
Since then, Markel had been my #1 boo thing. Anyways, now that I was back in my room, I quickly made my way over to my walk-in closet. I walked all the way down to where I kept my safe. Although I smoke reefer every day, for some odd reason, I couldn't just have it all out in the open like that, especially since that stuff was so pungent. That shit'll have my whole entire house smelling foul. Once I opened my safe, I grabbed my favorite kind of reefer, a pack of backwoods cigars, and my lighter. I dashed over into my bathroom just to make sure I still looked dazzling. Now staring at myself in the mirror, I grabbed my brush off my marble bathroom countertop and lightly ran it through my silver hair. I'm gonna have to call Keisha to have her give me a touch-up, I commented to myself. I then leaned close into the mirror and analyzed my makeup. My mascara, foundation, and lipstick was still on point. I looked left, glanced right. Yes, Lord, I look good. I chuckled, sticking my tongue out. Quickly dashing out of the bathroom, I heard my cell phone buzzing as it charged on my nightstand. I froze for a moment, tempted to answer it. But fuck it. Baby, I ain't got time to check that. Whoever was calling me at the moment was just gonna have to wait because I was ready to get high, drunk, and suck some big nigga dicks. I might even eat their asses today. I was ready to let it all go this afternoon.
Miss Bonita, please.
I turned my nose up and sexily sauntered through my bedroom with the reefer, cigars, and lighter gripped in my hand. Should have called me earlier. I snickered at whoever was calling on my cell. I then made my way out of the bedroom, and now I was back in the hallway. Just feet away from my living room, I came to an abrupt stop when I noticed Mikayla and Will were already completely naked, sitting on my nice white Italian leather living room couch. Baby, my mouth shot wide open in shock. But it wasn't them being naked that had me stunned. They were making out. Oh. Yes, kissing each other. Tongues all deep down in each other's throats. Their eyes were closed and everything as if they were in love. And they were stroking each other's already hard dicks. What? Child, I was about to pass out. Take me home now, Lord Jesus. What in the hell are y'all doing? I screamed to the top of my lungs. Chapter 2. Woo! What in the hell are y'all doing? Still standing there shocked, I couldn't believe what my wide eyes were observing. These young niggas were crazy as hell if they thought this was okay. I did not get down like this at all.
Not you,
I was still a bit old school. Oh, shit, Mikayla said, suddenly pulling himself off Will. But then, a gigantic smile came across my face. Y'all don't need to stop. I loves it. This is going to be very, very interesting. Guess there was a first time for everything.
Well.
Ooh. Now that was a first for me. I ain't never did no nasty, freaky stuff like that before in my life. 2 men at the same time? 2 bisexual men at that. Ooh, child. My deceased husband, Clarence, was probably rolling over in his grave right now if he saw what I did. I felt like I was in one of them pornos. Baby, let me tell you, I had those young boys scared for their life, too. Not to be TMI, but I did with them young folks called...
Pause. Now, she done said all of this. And then she said not to be TMI. Kimani, come get Miss Vanetta. Because not to be TMI, but we done heard everything. From your rooter to your tutor to you look your tutor to... But you don't want to be TMI.
Like, what outlandish bullshit are you about to say? Really?
Let the church say yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Alexa, play.
D.A. Dick in the pussy, dick in the ass. Them fellas thought they was gonna mess me up and have me in the hospital when I suggested we try something a little different. I don't know about that, Vanita. You sure you ready for all that? Boy, Miss Vanita is a vet. My hoes can handle all types of meat. I spat right back at him. You know, I really hated when a nigga underestimated me. Now, I can't lie. Them dicks had Vanita shooketh to a degree. Nevertheless, with that strong reefer and Henny running through my veins, something came over me and relaxed me. Slid right up in me with ease.
Ooh.
Ha! Now that I think about it, Clarence could never. His baby dick was shameful. I can't believe I wasted nearly 50 years married to that.
Oh my God.
His ass ain't never gave me the satisfaction I needed. I could count on one hand how many times he did something freaky to me, and I had to pull teeth just to get him to try that new shit. Oh, fat motherfucker. As horrible as this may sound, I was so glad his ass was dead. I didn't have to be bothered with him no more. He passed away from a stroke about 3 years ago, and since then I've been getting my fuck on like none other. Vanita gotta make up for lost time. And that's exactly why I'm getting ready for hopefully another rendezvous with some young dick. After Mikayla and Will did me in and did me right, hours later I was back in my bathroom getting ready to hang out with one of my friends, Alice. She and I used to work together at the Department of Motor Vehicles. I had recently retired from them after a good 50 years of service. Alice used to live right next door to me in Hyde Park, but now she's living over in Bronzeville. Apparently she's going to introduce me to one of her cousin's friends. I had to ask how old this dude was. I told Alice straight up, I ain't messing with anyone over 50. I asked to see a picture, but supposedly tonight was supposed to be a blind date. After taking a long hot shower, I was now putting on my makeup and getting my face ready for tonight. Some moments later, my face was beat to perfection as usual, and I was ready to show out. I'll tell you this though, Alice had better not be setting me up with some limp dick nigga, or her and I were gonna have it out. See, one thing about Vernita is that I really don't give a damn about anyone's opinions. Life is too short to be caught up on how people think of you. You got to do you, child. Shit, you got one life to live. Live it to the fullest. Ain't nobody got time to be wasting time. I absolutely do not do bullshit. So, with that being said, I got to turn some eyes tonight. In the event that this date falls through, oh, Miss Vernita bringing back some dick. You better believe that. That being said, I'm not the type of woman that dresses for her age. I refuse to live up to those old woman expectations. So, I threw on a black leather Gucci bodysuit and some matching pumps. I made sure to buy my outfit a little extra tight, too. I want the nigga to see this fat cat of mine.
Okay.
With 2 splashes of Chanel No. 5, I checked myself in the mirror one last time. I grabbed my phone and purse, then stepped out of my townhouse, expeditiously making my way over to Paulette, my ruby red drop-top 2019 Ford Mustang. I chucked up the engine, and immediately my favorite music started blaring through the humid air. Do it, baby, stick it, baby, move it, baby, lick it, baby, suck up on that clit until that pussy got a hickey, baby. I loves me some rap music, especially them city girls. That song Twerk is my jam. I already know what you're thinking, but baby, I refuse to be some old Anita Baker, Gladys Knight, Aretha Franklin listening type of bitch. Fuck that. This right here is the type of music that'll keep you young. Once I got Paulette on Lakeshore Drive, I sped my way up to 35th Street. The plan tonight was for me to pick Alice up, and then the two of us were going to head back south to this club over in South Shore called The Dating Game. It was a very popular steppers lounge. That already gave me bad vibes because no one below the age of 45 went to steppers lounges like that. But Alice gave me her word that this mystery date was only 47. I really think the bitch lying to me, but we gon' see. A good 10 minutes later, I pulled Paulette up to Alice's house. She lived in a nice 3-story brownstone. I whipped out my celly and gave her a dial. Hey, girl, I'm downstairs. Okay, I'll be down in a minute. A minute on the dot later, Alice came bumbling out of her building and walked slowly up to my car. As she got closer, I could see she had a weird semi-frown on her face. What's wrong, Alice? I had to ask. Vernita, I said we were going out for a few cocktails and maybe some wings. You dress like you're going to hang out with my grandbabies, she huffed. Alice was about a decade younger than me, but I swear she acted like she was somebody's great granny sometimes. In fact, right now, she was dressed like somebody's great granny. She could be such a nicer looking woman if she took a bit better care of herself. Ooh. She kind of reminded me of a thicker Tamala man. The only difference was Tamala looked good, but Alice looked like Tamala's busted down twin that worked at some school cafeteria making $6 an hour. Alice already knew how I rolled when I was in these streets. Yet she was dressed like she bought her entire outfit off the clearance rack at Walmart. This was actually quite embarrassing. No wonder her husband left her raggedy ass years ago. In fact, I don't even know why I'm hanging out with this heifer tonight.
Lord.
Girl, don't do me like that. You already know when I step out of my house, I gotta look right. I think you may need to go change your outfit. Girl, you look like you about to go to somebody's damn family reunion. You ain't got nothing better to put on. No. Girl, don't you go there. Don't get mad at me because you overdress everywhere we go. Girl, just last week when we went to the Red Lobster, you were dressed like one of those scandalous young girls. What's going on with you? I rolled my eyes. Going on with me? Really?
Here we go.
See, now I was beginning to get mad. The nerve of her. Ain't nothing going on with me, girl. All I know is these men out here ain't like how they used to be when we were younger. They want you to come with it. I said back to her, hoping she realized how raggedy she looked. I kind of felt bad for Alice, though, because her husband wasn't no good and he used to beat her ass like a runaway slave.
Oh, my God.
I tried to get her to leave him for years, but her self-esteem was so shot that she swore he'd eventually change. Well, he changed all right. Changed his address. Guess once he realized Alice was getting too old for his liking, he straight up left her for some young nasty bitch. Clarence and I may have had a door sex life, but I'd be damned if I would ever allow a nigga to put his hands on me.
Hello?
The only thing a nigga can beat up on me is this here pussy.
Oh.
Otherwise, he'd mess around and buy a one-way ticket to his grave.
All right.
Yeah, they different, all right. But a man should like you for your mind and heart, not what you got on. Oh, okay. Well, you keep on believing that. All I know is this nigga you hooking me up with better look like Shamar Moore, and he better have a big old black dick. I hate getting my time wasted.
Whew.
Vernita, that is so crude and unladylike, Alice shouted. I shrugged my shoulders. Yeah, well, it is what it is. I got my taste and you got yours. And just to make sure, you did say this man was 48, not 58, right? And he knows I'm 76, right? Yeah, he knows, but what? Nothing? No, girl, you better tell me. Something wrong with this nigga? Child, let's go and see what this blind date working with. I don't know what I'm getting into either, but I know my expectations are realistic, unlike others. Alice said sarcastically. Whatever, girl. Watch and see. If this nigga ain't on shit, oh, I'm getting me somebody. Not saying anything back, she just shook her head. I turned the music up, and soon as the city girls filled the air, Alice looked at me. Really? You ain't got no better music? This music is just foul as hell. Put on some Patti LaBelle or something. Hell, even Luther of the Isley Brothers. Girl, that's your problem now. You acting too much like your age. And what's wrong with that? I'm 66, not 26. You need to act like you're 26. Age ain't nothing but a number. No, girl, I'm good. And you need to be acting your age, too. We eventually all get old. If we lucky enough to live that long. Yeah. Girl, just sit back and enjoy the music. I laughed, playfully rolling my eyes to the dark purplish skies. You so tight sometimes. Before I die, I swear I'm gonna get you right. Child bomb. You got it all messed up. You keep on going after these young guys if you want to. At the end of the day, you can do all the things you want to do with them, but they'll always run back to one of their peers. Then what you gonna do after that? You think one of these boys want to be laid up with somebody who's gonna be in a home in less than a decade? Oop. Girl, enough already.
Ooh.
You're so negative sometimes. See, now she was gonna make me say something that I was gonna regret. But I'm gonna keep my cool. She can act like an old hag all she wants, but not me. I refuse to let my age dictate the dicks I want.
Lord.
And all the young guys I ever messed with never broke my heart to link up with a younger hoe. Besides, who said I even wanted a relationship? I was married for 50 years. Companionship sounded nice and all, but for right now, all I want is to just have a good time. Chapter 3. Just what I thought. My worst fear was confirmed. This blind date was a hot-ass mess. Baby, I was ready to curse Alice to the high heavens. I just knew this no-good bitch was lying her motherfucking ass off. We hadn't even been at the lounge for an hour, and I was ready to go. Baby, I was pissed. You hear me? Me, Alice, her cousin Samantha, and these three other guys, Nathaniel, Gerald, and Robert, were sitting down at the table inside this stiff-ass lounge.
Anybody named
As
Gerald
all
is
five
so
of them
stupid.
smacked on chicken wings and threw spaghetti in their mouths, I sat there quiet and occasionally sipped on some water. As they conversed amongst each other, I was so terribly disgusted as I stared at my blind date Gerald through the corner of my eye. Although he was sitting to my left, I hadn't said a word to him the entire time we'd been here. I swear, part of me was just ready to pop off on Alice right then and there, but I knew I had to keep my cool. Plus, I didn't get down like that. Perhaps Alice didn't know how this guy looked, but I had a feeling her big ugly ass knew all along how the nigga looked. From the moment I was introduced to him, I was completely turned off.
Well,
my pussy dried up within seconds. Got dried in the damn Sahara. Ha! 48 my ass. Child, them dark circles and that big-ass pregnant belly of his let me know that nigga was pushing at least 60. Maybe a good 30 years ago he looked good, but his apparent age was definitely a turnoff.
Well,
he reminded me so much of my deceased husband, Clarence. He was light-skinned, had light green hazel eyes, and visible streaks of gray throughout his high-top fade. I caught another quick glance at him, and just looking at this slimy-ass nigga, I knew his black ass wasn't no goddamn 48. That motherfucker looked at least 68. Hell, I was damn near 78, and I looked better than his ass.
hello?
As some horrible-ass male waiter song blared from the club speakers, I sat back in my seat with my arms folded, silent, staring off at the thick crowd dancing on the dance floor. "You mighty quiet over there," said James. Although he was old as hell, too, he looked like he was in better shape than Gerald. Robert kind of reminded me of Billy D. Williams, minus the permed hair. I was never into Billy D. like that. There was always something off about that man. Anyways, I glanced over at James, then produced the fakest smile I could. "I'm just taking in the scene, that's all," I replied, and then threw my eyes back onto the dance floor.
Alexa, pause. Child, this book is a mess. Alexa, play.
"You don't want to eat no chicken? They got good wings." Gerald laughed, smacking loudly on those over-sauced and probably over-fried chicken wings. More embarrassing than sitting next to a bunch of old-ass niggas, listening to them smack on greasy-ass wings and reminisce about shit that happened 30 and 40 years ago. "She just a little tired," Alice said. "Them shots hitting you hard, Benita?" I looked over at her trifling ass. "Girl, I had half a shot, and this is water I'm sipping on now. I'm fine." I couldn't take the bullshit no more, so I quickly stood up and adjusted my outfit. I'm about to go use the ladies' room for a moment. From the gawk on Alice's face, I guess she sensed I wasn't in the mood and wasn't feeling this Gerald nigga at all. She looked at me and said, "Yeah, I gotta use the bathroom too. I'll follow you." "Don't y'all be in there too long. We got some dancing to do." "I'm gonna request the DJ to play some Luther." Gerald chuckled. My eyes grew big, but I had to catch myself and quickly walk off. Luther? Hell to the no. Somebody better put some Trick Daddy or Future on. Got me all the way fucked up.
Please.
Strolling off to the bathroom, I made my way through the thick crowd on the dimly lit dance floor. Although the dating game was not that big of an establishment, there had to be at least 100 people crammed up in here. All black folks. Old-ass black folks, too. No one looked younger than 50. "Excuse me," I politely said when I rudely cut past this old-ass couple dancing to that stale-ass Mare Water song. Although I hadn't said a word to her, I knew Alice was trailing me. Oh, baby, you better believe she was going to get it as soon as I made my way inside the bathroom. And as soon as I made it inside the bathroom, I went straight to one of the sinks and ran the water cold. "You got me fucked up, Alice. You really do," I spat as I sprinkled some drops on my face to wake me the fuck up. "What's your problem, girl? Why you acting all funny and shit? That is so wrong. Robert is nice looking and is right up your alley," Alice said back to me as she stood off to the side. Guilt was written all over her face. 48? Child, that man is not 48. You played me. You played me big time. I'm so fucking mad at you right now, I exclaimed as I turned the faucet off. "Okay, so I lied a little bit. I knew if I told you his real age, you wouldn't come out. I'm just trying to hook you up with someone a bit more in your lane, that's all." My face suddenly twisted in shock. "My lane? Girl, I don't need you to help me find someone in my lane. Truth be told, I only came out to support you. I was trying to help you find a man. I don't need no damn man. All I want is dick and that's it. And not no old limp, need 5 Viagra shrimp dick either. That man probably can't even see his dick. His stomach is so big, nigga look like he's pregnant with triplets. I looked in the mirror and saw this young chocolate woman emerging from one of the stalls. She had a huge smirk on her face and was fighting hard to contain her laughter. She walked up to one of the sinks next to me. Girl, your name must be Stella because you're trying to get your groove back. I lightly chuckled. No, my name's Vanita and I need a big Peter. I know that's right. You remind me so much of my auntie. She was hilarious. But you look good for your age, girl. I want to look like that when I get older. A smirk came across my face. How old do you think I am? No older than 60. You hear that, Alice? Young girl guessed right. Alice huffed and shook her head, not saying anything. Anyways, I said, playfully rolling my eyes, I'm gonna leave this boring-ass club, Alice. You have your future nigga take you home.
Lord,
I'll be damned if I'm gonna waste my night, I said. Yeah, it is kind of dead in here. Shit, what club you going to? The young chocolate sister asked. She reminded me so much of Venus Williams, except she was a bit slimmer. My favorite club up in South Loop, Tantrum. Well, shit, let's go together. I'm Denitra, by the way. Nice to meet you, Denitra. Well, if that's the case, then I'll holler at you later, Vanita, Alice said as she spun around and headed out the bathroom. That's your friend? Yeah, she my girl, but she on some other shit tonight.
Alexa,
girl,
pause. Listen. We got through 3 chapters. They said it took 9 hours to finish this book. Play.
Girl, let's head out so we can get there before 10. You want to ride with me? Sure. Now, any other time I went out, I usually like rolling by myself, and I didn't fuck with new bitches like that. I was way too old to make new friends. But tonight was going to be an exception because I was getting good vibes from Miss Denitra. We made our way back onto the dance floor and cut through the crowd. This time, some R. Kelly song was playing, and all the steppers in the club were on the dance floor stepping their old asses off. I caught a glance of Alice and the rest of the group, and just like some typical-ass old folks, they were sitting back in their seats looking full and tired from all that food they just ate. Where's your car? Denitra asked as we made it out into the dimly lit parking lot. Girl, over there. I'm in the red drop-top Mustang, I said, pointing over to Paulette. Damn, sis, that's you? Yes, girl. Paulette is my baby. Paulette? You got a name for her and everything? Girl, you seem like a lot of fun. I can't wait to see you show out on this club floor. I smiled as I was completely flattered. Watch and see. Baby, I can keep up with you young folks. Suddenly, I felt my phone vibrate in my pocketbook. I reached inside and glanced at the phone number, which I didn't completely recognize. Who is this calling me? I mumbled to myself. I swiped right on my iPhone. Hello? Who is this? Bitch, where the fuck you at?
Oh my God.
The deep voice replied. All of a sudden, I got nervous as hell. Excuse me? I replied, clutching my chest. And who are you? I think you got the wrong phone number. Bitch, don't play no fucking games with me. Vanita, you better have your motherfucking ass back at the crib in 20 minutes or I'm gonna kill your motherfucking ass. Okay, I'll be there in 20 minutes. I'm just right around the corner. Yeah, you better be, bitch. You got me fucked up. I hung up the phone and threw a fake polite smile at Denitra. Listen, girl, I hate to do this, but that was my son on the phone. He got into a bad car wreck and he needs me to come pick him up from the hospital.
Lies.
Oh my God, no. I'm so sorry to hear that, Miss Vanita. Is everything all right? Yeah, he just got a little scratch on his head. That's all. I didn't recognize his voice at first. He sounds like he needs me. Oh, okay. Well, it was nice meeting you. Maybe one day we'll run into each other again and we can hang out. You seem cool. Yes, girl. Let's exchange numbers. After Denitra and I exchanged numbers, I hopped into my Mustang and expeditiously made my way back home.
That's gotta be her favorite word.
And completely racked with terror. I had already recognized who this was on the phone. It was my husband.
I thought he was
My
dead.
other husband, Percy.
I thought Clarence was dead.
Chapter 4. Soon as I recognized Percy's voice, I knew I had to rush my sexy ass back home.
Please.
And oh God, with what I had on, I knew he was going to have some words for my ass. Being fully aware of what he was capable of doing to me, I thought possibly of stopping somewhere to change out my outfit. I usually brought an extra outfit with me anytime I went out, especially if I was going to snatch me up some new dick and stay at a nigga's house for the night.
Lord.
But at this time of night, there was absolutely nowhere safe I could stop other than a gas station to change, and I'd be damned if I was going to do that. I felt kind of bad for having to lie to Denitra. She really did seem like a nice girl. However, I had no other choice but to get back home in a timely fashion. Otherwise, Percy was definitely going to put his hands on me. Some 10 or 11 minutes later, after breaking all the damn speed laws in the city of Chicago, I made it quickly back to my townhouse. I pulled into my driveway, and there Percy was.
Pause. Wasn't she just popping her shit about the other girl, man, putting hands on her? Wasn't she? You know what? This is insanity.
This is insanity.
And you gonna let a nigga named Percy put hands on you? This about
the pad is a prayer.
Listen, cause she was popping big shit about old girl's husband hitting her and leaving, and then you just said if you don't get home, this Percy, a nigga named Percy, you gonna put hands on you, Miss Girl, Miss Vernita. I call bullshit. Alexa, play.
Standing there smoking a square, smoke pouring from his nostrils. My throat and chest got tight. I quickly turned the car off and got out. I slowly trekked up to him as his beady eyes latched on to me. When you got out? I asked as I held tight to my purse.
Oh, he was in jail?
I thought you weren't getting released until next month. Bitch, you knew I was getting out today. Why the fuck you kept ignoring my phone calls? I forgot, baby. I swear I did. What's today? Friday? You know I'm up in age. I be forgetting things now. I lied as I stood there nervous more than ever. Yeah, I knew Percy was getting out of prison today, but I had been avoiding him for some weeks now. He was the one who was calling me earlier before I had that dig down session with Markel and his buddy. Now, you might be wondering, how in the hell do I have a second husband? Well, let me explain. See, right before Clarence passed away, I had been creeping around. Percy was actually my first side nigga that I had met some years back. Funny how we met, too. He was a CNA working for a long-term care facility out in Oaklawn, a suburb touching the city. When Clarence got ill, the doctors had recommended he move into that nursing facility to have 24/7 support. Percy and I started off as friends at first. Although he was a CNA by day, he was a certified street nigga at night. I used to buy weed from him on the side to help me deal with all the stress and bullshit with Clarence being sick. 6 months later, as Clarence's condition continued to deteriorate, Percy and I became closer. Well, you already know how stories like this went. One night, after I was in a tiff about some other personal stuff, Percy invited me out to go have a drink with him. And, well, a few drinks later, I was back at his apartment, slurping and riding his big, thick, veiny anaconda.
Oh, my God.
Let me tell you, though, child, this boy got some dick, you hear me? A year after our little entanglement, Percy's crazy ass ended up getting locked up and serving 6 years down in Joliet prison for armed robbery.
Entanglement is
While
crazy.
he was locked up, I was still missing my baby, and I made the stupid decision to get married to him. Nobody actually knew about this, and now I kind of regretted doing it. You might also be wondering just exactly how old Mr. Percy is. Well, you already know how I gets down. Percy just turned 38, and when I met him, he was just turning 32. But now that I had the opportunity to get a real good look at him, I was turned off by his looks. Prison really did age him. Although he wasn't even 40 yet, prison added an additional 10 years to him. Thankfully, he still had a nice little frame to him. He was still tall and sturdy, looking just like my chocolate Hollywood crush Wesley Snipes.
Please.
Percy had a gold grill in his mouth and long dreads flowing down his neck. But boy, he must have had some sleepless nights in prison because he had some dark circles under his eyes. Out of nowhere, Percy lunged at me and grabbed me by my throat. You cheating on me with another nigga, ain't you? Bitch, don't be lying to me. Percy, let me go. Don't do this right here. You're gonna get the cops called on us. I screamed to the top of my lungs. Fuck the motherfucking police. Bitch, I ain't afraid of going back to prison. Oh, Lord. This boy was gonna have Chicago police at my door at any moment if the neighbors heard us arguing. Calm down, baby. Let's just go inside and talk. I tried to plead with him. I didn't want any of these nosy motherfuckers up in my business. I'm gonna knock your ass out.
Well,
let me find out you fucking around on me with another nigga. I swear I ain't.
Well, she got two.
I lied once more, and now I was beginning to panic. I was legit concerned that I didn't do a good job of cleaning up behind the little session I had earlier this afternoon. Suddenly, Percy let go of me, and I stood back for a second with my hands in the air. Percy, you're scaring me now. Let's just go inside, and I can make you a meal and run a hot bath for you. You just need to relax. All right. But I swear to God, I'm gonna go crazy if I find out somebody else been in my pussy.
Oh, my.
My nerves fired up with anxiety. I strolled up to my front door and opened it up. With Percy trailing closely behind me, we walked into the dark foyer, and I just hoped my house didn't reek of ass, pussy, or dick. Or
Alexa, pause. So your first is in the hospital dying. While he is clinging to life, you meet a nurse and start chilling and hooking up with him. Your man dies, your side man goes to jail, and you hooking up with two other dudes who hooking up with each other. That afternoon, leave to go out on another date. Come back because your side man who you married came home, yoked you up. You opened the door and was like, did I clean the house enough? Does it smell like bukkake in here?
Wait, so she married him?
She married him. She married him. She married Percy, who ended up in jail.
She's a
She's diabolical. This is crazy material.
This woman's her own villain.
She is the problem. Your first thought is not this man put his hands on me, my life is in danger, but does my house smell like bukkake? Priorities, ladies. Light a candle. Alexa, play. Ooh.
About a half hour later, Percy and I were sitting down at the dining room table. After going back and forth about him suspecting I was cheating, I managed to simmer his rowdy nerves. So the fuck what? I was cheating. What was I supposed to do? But of course I wouldn't dare confess that to his crazy ass. I fixed him up a plate of some leftovers and watched him devour the meal as if he was on death row eating his last dinner. After all that fussing and carrying on he was just doing, he better get ready to devour this ass and pussy.
Oy.
So, baby, tell me what's the plan now that you're out? I asked, as I watched him eat the leftover oxtails, greens, rice, and cornbread I had made.
That sounds so good.
I was going to have to whip up another batch because I actually had made these plates for Markel and his friend. I already done forgot that other boy's name. Shit, I don't even know. Probably hit up a few car washes and shit. A nigga ain't got time to be making no minimum wage. Shit, I might just link up with one of the guys and see if I can get back to moving a package. Nothing too serious, though, because the nigga ain't trying to go back to prison. I huffed and rolled my eyes. Baby, do you think that's a good idea and all? You really want to go back to selling drugs? That is just too risky for that little bit of money you can make. And it's too dangerous out here in these streets now. Every time I turn on the television, I'm always hearing about some young boy getting killed over nothing. Please don't do that. I'll hold you down until you can get something. I can even talk to... I hate when you do this shit. Percy suddenly interjected and smacked his teeth. Hated when I do what? I asked, my face screwed into confusion. You be on that mama shit with me. You my wife, not my mama. No, it ain't like that, Percy. I'm just saying. You ain't saying shit. Now let me finish this meal. These oxtails fine as fuck, by the way. I'm glad I'm out now, cause that food in the joint disgusting as fuck. I nervously smiled. I can tell. You lost a little weight. Percy stopped munching and then mumbled. Yeah, well, if you would have visited me more, maybe you would have seen the difference. Now, baby, you know you were on lockdown most of the time. Don't do that to me. Yeah, I was on lockdown, all right. Go make yourself useful and run me a hot-ass bath. And put some of that Epsom salt shit in the tub, too, cause my muscles aching and shit. All right, baby. I'm gonna get the kitchen cleaned up first and... Nah, bitch, go run my bath right now. I'm gonna be done in a minute. I ain't got time to waste. Do what the fuck I say. Okay, Percy. I'm getting right to it, I said, and didn't hesitate in making my way down the hallway and into my bedroom. Now, anyone could be thinking that I was crazy for putting myself in this twisted, abusive relationship, but Percy was truly a good man. And although he done did some things in the past, I believe he still had a lot of room for growth. I just wish I would have never gotten married to him because I didn't like being locked down to one dick.
No.
Truth be told, the only thing that kept me in love with this young nigga was that I kind of liked his roughneck nature. I loved me a nigga that would occasionally talk rough to me and put me in my place. That was what a real man was supposed to do.
Okay.
Clarence was the complete opposite of that. And often in our marriage, I felt like I had to be more of the aggressor. But on another note, ooh, child, I was getting wet just thinking about that thick dick Percy was about to give me. That was his only saving grace at the moment. I can't lie, but I got a thing for felons. Mikayla got him a couple of felonies, too. Once inside the bathroom, I ran the hot water in the jacuzzi tub and poured some Epsom salt and lavender into the tub.
Lavender?
I also added in just a tiny amount of bubble bath to make things a bit more intimate. Once the water filled the tub, I made my way back into the bathroom and changed into some sexy lingerie. I hoped that despite the fact we had a rocky start to our reunion, Percy would bless me with some bomb-ass dick. Some moments later, I hadn't heard a word from Percy. Getting quite curious, I sauntered back out into the living room, and there I saw him laid out on the couch,
He was
snoring
asleep.
hard. His snores were so loud they overpowered the ESPN playing on the television.
Percy was knocked
I
out.
walked over to him and lightly shook his shoulder. Percy? Percy, your bath is ready, baby. He didn't budge. Damn, he was getting some good-ass sleep. I couldn't blame him. I just knew sleep must have been different when he was locked up. I would have been paranoid 24/7. Not wanting to disturb him, I retreated back to my bedroom and made my way into the bathroom. I didn't want the bath to go to waste, so I slipped out of my robe and then began to take off my lingerie. Damn. With Percy's sleep, this meant I wasn't going to get any of that dick. I exhaled at the thought of knowing my night initially went to waste. But before I fully got out of my bra, I felt a hot, heavy presence lean up against me. Then I could feel the pulsation of a dick jump between my ass cheeks. You ready for me to drop this dick off up in you? Percy moaned into my ear. My eyes instantly widened with shock, and I swear this nigga almost made me go into a heart attack. My heart skipped like 100 beats feeling that anaconda thick dick.
Oh.
I was just gonna let you get some rest, I mumbled. Sounded like you needed it. Nah, I just needed a little nightcap. But now I'm ready to work this pussy. Shut the fuck up and bend over, he demanded. And just like that, I did what he commanded. I bent over and he pulled off my thong.
Oh my God.
Before I could even get the damn thong fully off my ankles, I felt his long tongue slither inside my booty hole. Oh, shit. I groaned aloud. Nigga almost made me have a seizure, as I didn't see any of this coming. At all. Just like I hoped, Percy slurped all of my insides from the back for the next 5 minutes. I didn't know how he was able to do it, but his tongue magically traveled back and forth between my ass and clit. Baby, let me tell you something.
Oh my God.
Age don't mean your coochie gonna dry up.
No.
And I say that because my juices, along with his saliva, was running all down my leg. Every couple of seconds I had an orgasm.
Okay.
He sent me off even more when he stuffed 2 of his fingers deep inside my pussy while he sucked on my ass. None of my side niggas ever got me right like this. Even Markel's freaky ass. Speaking of which, I wondered if Percy was gonna notice my ass was a bit loose. That fear quickly slipped away into oblivion as he stood me up and turned me around. Percy wiped his mouth, and I looked down, staring at his thick-ass Peter. I gently got down on my knees and began to slurp on that motherfucker.
Okay.
Man, I just loved me a pretty black dick.
All
Now,
right.
I done had my fair share of dicks in my life, but this one right here was by far the prettiest dick I'd ever laid my eyes on. And Percy had a big sack of nuts.
Okay.
That turned me all the way on. I love sucking a nigga's balls. Ladies, just make sure you be a bit careful when you attempt to put a nut or 2 in your mouth. Gots to be very, very gentle. Shit. Damn, Benito. Slow that shit down before you make me bust. Percy cried.
Lord.
Not saying anything. I just continued to devour that dick, stuffing that bad boy all the way down my throat. I let my tonsils dance on that dickhead until I took that motherfucker all the way out. A trail of my spit hung from his dick, and before it dropped to the floor, I caught it with my mouth wide open. You a nasty little hoe. Damn, stand up. I'm ready for the pussy now. Percy commanded, and I was ready for the dick too. On my knees, I immediately shot up from the floor. Percy quickly turned me around and bent me over. He slid the pipe all the way up into my slippery guts, and my walls conformed to his veiny girth.
Oh my God.
Ah, fuck. He groaned as my sugar walls tightened around that dick. I didn't even hesitate in throwing this pussy back on his rod, and I could feel myself cream all over his shaft.
Oh my
Both of our moans together filled the dimly lit bathroom as I hung to the edge of the sink. Oh, you got me coming so hard. I cried with my mouth hung wide open, my tongue drooping to the side. Yeah, I can see. You creaming all over the dick, he said, and then suddenly I felt his finger or thumb go inside my booty hole. Oh, shit. Yeah, just like that. I cried once more. The feeling of having that thumb up in my ass, along with his dick sliding in and out of me, had me ready to go meet King Jesus in the air.
Alexa, pause. I just know she ain't bring my Jesus into this. I just know she ain't bring my Lord into this. She says, sweet G. She talking about my Jesus, Devonterius Christ. Alrighty. Alexa, play.
Legs shivered and I swear it felt like my pussy was getting wider and wider, allowing more and more dick to fill me up. Now, Markel and his friends were working with some dick, but this dick right here was damn near giving Vanita a hysterectomy.
Oh my God.
This nigga was gonna bust up all these fibroids I had on my uterus. I heard 3 loud booms coming all the way from my front door, and then the doorbell began ringing non-stop. Vanita! Vanita! I heard a man's voice call out all the way from the front door. I didn't know who that was. Was that Markel? Percy's dick pumps came to an abrupt stop, and he pulled out of me. Yo, who the fuck is that? Percy grilled as he turned me around and grabbed me by my shoulders. Shit, I don't know, I said back to him, scared as shit. Please, oh Lord, don't let that be Markel or any other nigga I've been messing with over the past couple of months. I kept thinking to myself, bitch, you motherfucking know. I knew you had another nigga in him. I'ma kill you and that nigga. Vanita, open up, it's Markel. I forgot something. I gasped, and my eyes widened with fear. Markel? Percy's eyes instantly filled with rage. Chapter 5. Oh, shit. I already knew what time it was. I was a dead old bitch. Percy's arms twitched, and that was my cue that this situation was about to get really nasty if I didn't think quickly on my feet.
Ooh.
Baby, that's Markel. That's my personal trainer. Remember I told you about the young guy who's been coming by to help me out with getting my body toned? I tried to explain. I hope I sounded believable. Percy stood there with his fists clenched tightly, and his breathing intensified. With his unblinking eyes latched on to me, there was part of me that just knew he knew I was lying my ass off. Bitch, I swear on my mama's grave you better not be fucking lying to me. I got the blick on me too, and if you lying to me, I'm gonna put a bullet in both y'all heads.
Well,
Blick. I had to think for a second what exactly he was talking about. You know, sometimes these young folks be using these words and I don't even know what the hell they mean. Blick, my gun. Shit, now that I'm back out here in these streets, I gotta stay pulled up. Baby, no, it's not that serious. I tried to plead once again with him. Oh my motherfucking goodness. What in the world did I land myself into messing around with this young crazy nigga? Once Percy quickly put his boxers back on, he rudely shoved past me, then stormed out of the bathroom. I grabbed my robe off the chilly bathroom floor and quickly threw it on. Percy by now was already out in the living room. Like a crazy in love bitch, I chased right behind his ass because I didn't want any drama to go down between both of my boos.
Please.
Once I made my way out into the living room, I saw Percy rummaging through his sole piece of luggage. He pulled out his blick, and you already know my eyes quickly grew with terror. No, baby, please, don't do this. I kept begging. Stand the fuck back, bitch. Your old ass gonna die if you fucking lying to me. He growled, and then lunged up to the door and looked out the peephole. Wait one fucking minute. He quickly unlocked the door and tucked the gun in his back waist. Hey, this my nigga Kels. I ain't know this was the nigga you was talking about. Percy opened the door.
Alexa, pause.
My nigga homie.
Now she fucked the whole piece. Whoa, my God, on today. I don't know where this story is going, but I'm enjoying the ride. Alexa, play.
Stood there with his arms wide open. My nigga, fuck is you doing around here? He then went in to give Mikayla a hug. My anxiety simmered a bit and I clutched my chest. Damn, Percy. Nigga, I ain't seen you in some years. When the fuck did you get out? Markel responded with a big-ass smile etched on his face. I stood back a moment just to make sure nothing crazy suddenly started. Shit, I just got out today. My woman was supposed to pick me up and shit, but her ass was tweaking. Bruh, I ain't know you was the nigga training my old girl. Come the fuck in. Nah, it's cool, bruh. I was just swinging by because I had left one of my dumbbells in the crib and shit. Markel stepped back, laughing. Man, come in, Percy said. Markel stepped in the door, and already knowing protocol, he took his shoes off and made his way near me. Hey, Renita. Sorry I came over late, but I had left my dumbbells and I need them for a morning session. I would have called, but your phone kept going straight to voicemail. He then walked over near the corner of the living room where we kept our workout equipment. Oh, no worries, I said back nervously. From the look he was giving me and the sudden smirk he had on his face, I guess he already knew what time it was. Kel's one of the guys. We went to elementary school together.
Oh, my
we were
Lord.
on the same block, right there on 64th and Ellis. Percy laughed as he walked up to me. It was just so strange because Markel didn't act as if he was at all shocked that Percy would be in my house this time of night. Any normal person would have suspected that something weird was going on between us. And obviously, from the look he gave me just seconds ago, he must have already knew I was bouncing on Percy's dick.
No.
Shit, he knew how I got down. But damn, he could have acted a bit shocked not to make it seem so obvious that he was kind of aware what I had going on with his friend. Then again, I could have been making all types of assumptions. But Percy, bruh, shit, let me know if you need a gig. The gym always hiring. We could use a new trainer on the team. I can get you certified ASAP and have you working out clients and shit like tomorrow. Markel said as he picked up a few dumbbells and made his way back over to the
I don't even know why I'm doing my forehead because I'm wearing a hat.
Hook a nigga up then, Percy exclaimed. But only thing is, shit, you really think I could train people? Markel laughed. Yeah. Man, these folks out here so out of shape. You can make one of these motherfuckers just raise their hands up in the air and they fat asses will be out of breath.
Oh my God, please.
You good, bruh. Well, alright then, I'm gonna swing by the gym tomorrow. What time you gonna be there? Percy asked. Man, just swing by any time. I'll be there all day after 8 a.m. Markel replied, and then threw a smile at the both of us. Alright, Mr. Markel. We still on for our session next Tuesday, right? Yes, ma'am. He politely responded, and then made his way out of the door. Ooh, child, that was a close one. Percy turned and looked at me smiling. Yeah, that's my nigga, he muttered. Can we finish what we started? I had to ask. Without hesitation, Percy grabbed me by my waist and smacked my ass from behind. Hell yeah. Well, following morning, after a long dig-down session, I was in the kitchen making my man some cheese grits, eggs, bacon, fried catfish, hot link sausage, and some pancakes. It was 8:10, and the sun was shining deep into my kitchen. I had some Shirley Caesar playing from my phone while I whipped up this big, soulful breakfast.
I know.
But let me tell you something here.
Okay.
After I got done cooking, I was going to take a hot bath and let this pussy soak in some Epsom salt because I sure was feeling mighty sore. Between Markel and his friend, and then Percy, my insides felt like I got skinned like this catfish I was about to fry up to go with these here grits. Please. Some moments later, I heard Percy rumbling through the kitchen. I spun around and noticed he was dressed like he was ready to head out of the house. He didn't even seem fazed by the delectable smells wafting in the air. Damn, baby, where you going? I made you this big breakfast, I exclaimed, giving him a somewhat disappointed stare. Oh, sorry, babe, but remember I gotta go meet up with Kels about that job and shit. He explained as he lunged up to the fridge, opened it, and pulled out a carton of some orange juice. He took the carton back to the head. Damn, you could at least use a glass. Besides, Markel said he was gonna be there all day. Why you gotta leave now? With all this food I made, the least you could do is attempt to eat some of it. I was really upset. Had I known he was gonna wake up and try to leave the house immediately, I would have just kept my tired ass in the bed. This nigga was really starting to get on my motherfucking nerves.
Ooh.
Sorry, babe, but you know I gotta do what I gotta do.
Pause. Am I tripping? Or does she sound like Megan Thee Stallion? Every other word.
Don't scare me.
Motherfucking nerd. Tell me that didn't sound like Megan P. Tell me. Tell me a line. Go on. Tell me. Alexa, play.
I was still gonna link up with a few of the guys to see about some other shit. I just shook my head. Please don't tell me you are still gonna try to run in those streets. I already done told you I think that's a bad idea. Bitch, back the fuck off me, like, for real. Percy suddenly bellowed. Nigga, don't you raise your fucking voice in my house. I'm just trying to help you. Man, whatever, I'm out. I'll holler at you later, Vanita. Shaking to my core, I watched this trifling nigga literally toss the orange juice carton back into the fridge and then run out of the kitchen. Seconds later, I heard the front door open and slam shut. I absolutely couldn't believe this right now. What in the fuck was I really thinking messing around with this crazy boy? Clutching my chest, I had to sit down for a second in the dining room just to gather my thoughts.
Oh!
This wasn't a good situation at all. Granted, I had a thing for Percy and something in me kind of loved him, but being married to him was one crazy, impulsive decision. I let my loneliness get the best of me. Shit, I didn't know why. It wasn't like I couldn't get a man. As I continued to sit there, I dazed off for a second and suddenly my mind went blank. I was at a complete loss of words. Who am I? Why am I here?
Who am I? It's crazy.
What's going on? My mind continued to fill with this weird sense of emptiness and before you know it, I completely blanked out. I stared off at nothing, forgetting everything about myself and where I was currently. What was going on? Some moments later, I stood up and made my way over to the kitchen. Then the smoke alarm inside of my house began to go off. I snapped out of the daze I was in, not realizing how long I had been out of it. Damn it! I screamed when I realized I had let the pot of grease cook for too long, and now my entire house was filled with the blackest smoke. Suddenly, I heard 3 loud knocks at my front door, and then my doorbell kept going off. Getting scared, I tried to quickly gather myself. The entire kitchen was still smoky, and now I was wondering if my alarm had set off the fire department to come to my house. Whoever was at my door kept pounding hard, and my doorbell kept firing off. Maybe it was one of my neighbors. "Coming!" I shouted as I opened up one of my kitchen windows to let the smoke out. Once I finally got the window open and the smoke began to quickly pour out of the window, I marched over to the front door and looked out the peephole. Just as I thought, it was one of my neighbors, Mr. Kilpatrick. He was this older white man that I think was probably in his 50s. I opened the door and greeted him. "Hey, Mr. Kilpatrick." "Hey, Vernita, is everything okay? I heard your smoke alarm going off for a few minutes and I was getting ready to call the fire department." "Oh, yeah, everything is fine. I was just about to..." My mind began to draw blanks again, but this time an intense dizziness came over me. I was just about to... "Vernita, is everything all right?" All of a sudden, everything went dark, and I fell to the floor.
Chapter 6. Miss Washington? Miss Washington, how are you feeling, dear?
I slowly opened my eyes and noticed that I wasn't at home anymore. I was lying in a hospital bed. The sound of all sorts of medical machines were chirping in the background. Glancing around, I noticed I had a slow-dripping IV pumping cool liquid in my arm. I had absolutely no idea why I was brought here. Didn't even know what hospital I was at. Where am I? Why am I here? I said as I kept glancing around. No one else was in the room other than a tall, mahogany-toned man, who I presumed to be the doctor. I didn't have my glasses on me, but I squeezed my pupils to stare at his name tag. Dr. James McKnight. I scanned Dr. McKnight up and down, and ooh, child, he was one sexy hunk of a man. I was getting hot and bothered just thinking of how delicious he looked.
Alexa, pause. She in there dying. So she passed out. And she was cooking something, so her grease was burning. Her neighbor came over and was like, what's going on? I heard the fire alarm. I was going to call the people. She was like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm just blackout." Mind you, she is in her 70s, so too much running around. Let that coochie breathe. Alexa, play.
I'm Dr. McKnight, Miss Washington. You passed out earlier at your house and your neighbor immediately called 911, he explained. He pulled out a small flashlight from his right pocket and began to scan my eyes with it. The light was very blinding, but that didn't distract me from taking in this man's overpowering sexiness.
Please.
My eyes quickly jetted down toward his lower half, and I wanted to see if Dr. McKnight had him a bulge.
Please.
I was good at analyzing a man's size just based on the bulge. I didn't quite make out a bulge, but that was probably because I needed my glasses. "Why did I pass out?" I asked. "That's what we're trying to determine," he replied as he checked off a few things on a clipboard gripped in his hands. "How long have I been unconscious?" "Well, you just woke up. We actually had you on a sedative because when you came in earlier, your blood pressure was really low and we didn't know if you had a stroke or not. But based on your vitals, you didn't have a stroke or a heart attack. Actually, your blood test came back all good. Are you taking any medications or anything, Miss Washington?" "No, not at all." "When's the last time you've been to a doctor?" "Well, I just had my annual physical not too long ago. Everything checked out okay. I exclaimed. Well, I think we might need to run some more tests on you. Should I have a nurse try to contact some family members? A husband? Children? I'm not married. My husband passed away.
She married to Percy.
But then, just like that, I quickly remembered I was technically married to Percy. But I didn't want to bring him up. The last thing I wanted was for these folks to be judging me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Dr. McKnight said as he stuffed his pen back into his coat pocket. Okay, well, just let the nurse know if you want us to contact any family members to be here with you. I'm actually going to order a CAT scan and some other tests just to check everything out. But honestly, it just sounds like maybe you just had an unexpected drop in blood pressure. It happens from time to time, especially when you get older. Boy, don't put that on me, I said, laughing. Put what on you? Age. I might be 76, but my body feels like I'm in my 40s. Is that right? Dr. McKnight replied with a smile. I like your attitude. Well, thank you. I smiled back. Dr. McKnight, if you don't mind, can you have the nurse dial one of my friends? Her name is Alice. I can give you her number. She also has a key to my place in case of an emergency. I need my reading glasses because I can barely see a thing. My left eye is really giving me problems, it seems. Now that I think about it, that usually isn't the case. Now I was starting to get a bit nervous because this was the first time ever I started to notice my vision in my left eye was extremely hazy. Usually I could do fine without my reading glasses, but now I felt like I was damn near Stevie Wonder blind.
Please?
Okay, sure thing. What's her number? Dr. McKnight asked as he pulled out his ink pen. I told him Alice's number and he jotted it down and quickly made his way out of the room. Some seconds later, the nurse, a young Hispanic-looking girl, walked in and said, Okay, Miss Washington, I called your friend Alice and told her what happened. She said she's on her way. But in the meantime, Dr. McKnight ordered a CAT scan for you. So I'm going to get you prepped for that, she said. Okay. Anxiety began to rise in my throat and my body grew a tad tight. What exactly is a CAT scan used for? I had to ask as I sat up in the bed. Well, it's a diagnostic exam that can be used to diagnose a bunch of things. But don't worry, I think based on your vitals, everything is going to be fine. Okay. I didn't like the sound of that, but I guess I had no control over it at the moment. By the way, what hospital am I at? University of Chicago, she responded as she helped me into another gown. Some moments later, another hospital worker stumbled into the room. He was an older black fellow with a shiny bald head. Miss Washington? Mrs. Washington? That's me. I smiled. I'm Donovan. I'm the X-ray tech that'll be helping you out with your CAT scan, he said. He looked over at the nurse and then said, I can take it from here. Some moments later, after both Donovan, the X-ray tech, and the nurse got me situated into a wheelchair, I was taken down to another part of the hospital for the CAT scan. Once we got inside the room, I swear my entire insides filled with a million butterflies. Is this going to put a lot of radiation and stuff in me? I asked. Well, yes, but you should be fine. No more radiation than the radiation you get exposed to when you go through one of those TSA scanners at the airport. Those nuke people all the time and people don't even realize it, Donovan said as he helped me out of the wheelchair and then walked me over to a flat table. Now, lay down on this and hold your hands to your side. The test isn't going to take no longer than 5 minutes. I'll have you back in your room in no time, Miss Washington. Okie dokie, I replied with fake enthusiasm. I couldn't help but think something may have been seriously wrong with me. Once Donovan helped me lay down on the table, I laid still, staring up at the ceiling of the dimly lit room. All I could hear was the faint rumbling of a machine. This reminded me so much of when Clarence was in the hospital. All of a sudden, the fear of dying filled my mind, and this weird sense of fear gripped every inch of my body. But I had to stay calm. Nothing is wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with me, Nothing is wrong with me.
Something is
I
wrong
kept
with you.
repeating that in my head as I heard the table move, and then Donovan said, "Now just lay still and close your eyes." Doing as he said, I closed my eyes shut and just thought about my life and all the things I missed out on wasting my time with Clarence.
Oh my God.
I thought about the future family I could have had. I thought about the future grandchildren I could have been playing with right now. At the end of the day, although I had a bunch of young guys to fuck around with, I really had nobody. Trying to hold back tears, there was a part of me that wished I could pay to go back in time. If I could do it all over again, I'd definitely avoid Clarence like the plague. My tears of sadness turned to tears of rage, and I was glad I did what I did when he was sick. Some may label me a bad wife, but I had to do what was right for me.
Madam.
My sex drive had been bottled up for so many years, and I felt repressed. I heard the whooshing sound of the machine circulating around me, and the guilt of doing what I did to Clarence escaped. Good riddance,
Oh my
I
God.
thought to myself.
Horrible.
I got lost in my sea of thoughts, and before you know it, I was out of the CAT scan machine. Donovan walked over and helped me up. "See, I told you it wouldn't take that long," he uttered with a big grin plastered on his chubby chocolate face. Boy, he sure was ugly, but he was such a nice man. Bless his heart. Anyways, after he helped me up and put me back into the wheelchair, he wheeled me back to my room. Soon as he opened the door, I saw Alice sitting down in one of the 2 chairs inside the room. "Girl, oh my God, I was getting nervous for a second. What happened?" Alice growled, her voice sounding like she was getting ready to break down and cry. "Girl, calm down. It ain't that serious. I just passed out and the doctor just think my blood pressure dropped too low. I was cooking and I think I inhaled too much smoke," I said as I got up from the wheelchair and laid back down in the bed. Alice pulled out a pair of my glasses from her purse and handed them over to me. "The doctor called and said you needed these." "Thank you, girl. You always looking out for me." She rolled her eyes and huffed. "I know. I am. Like last night." "Child, don't even start. You already know how I feel about men. Don't play me like that." "Yeah, I know. Well, I'm just glad there's nothing seriously wrong with you. Girl, I know sometimes we get into our little arguments, but you know at the end of the day, you my best friend. I can't let anything happen to my girl. I love you." Alice was indeed right. Although we had our occasional disagreements, she was still my friend, and she was someone I could count on when things got bad. Hearing her say those words made me a bit emotional, and I had to look away to let out a few more tears. "What's wrong?" Alice asked once she noticed how I quickly went quiet. "Oh, nothing. Just reminiscing, that's all." "About Clarence?" she inquired in somewhat of a nervous tone. I glanced over at her. "Yeah." "You miss him?" "Honestly, yes." I lied. Miss him every day. Of course, I couldn't let her know how I truly felt about the nigga.
Please.
"Yeah? Sometimes I wonder what life would have been like if I had a husband for that long who I truly loved and cared for like that. Clarence was a good man. Just count yourself lucky you had someone like that for such a long time. Not everyone is blessed to have a long-lasting, happy marriage," she said, dozing off into space. Although I was cringing at every word she said, I understood why Alice felt the way she felt. Hell, I'd be feeling the same way too if I wasted my time being with the nigga who knocked me across the head every now and then just for not making his meatloaf right. Some moments later, the door to my room opened and Dr. McKnight strolled in with his lips pursed. He had this weird, solemn look on his face. "Excuse me, but can I have a word with Miss Washington?" he asked Alice. "Sure thing. I'll be outside," Alice said as she quickly stood up and made her way out of the door. Once the door was shut, Dr. McKnight's sexy ass coolly strolled over to my bedside and rumbled through some papers on a clipboard. He reminded me so much of Blair Underwood. I loves me some Blair Underwood. Except when he was knocking that little light-skinned girl out in that Tyler Perry movie. Unfortunately, I have some bad news, Miss Washington. Billions of butterflies filled the empty pits of my stomach, and I felt like the walls inside the hospital room were closing in. What is it? Chapter 7. You have brain cancer. Huh? My face twisted with confusion. I had to have him repeat what he just said. I just knew he didn't say what I thought he said. Yes, Miss Washington. Unfortunately, we suspect you have brain cancer. The radiologist detected a large growing tumor on the right lobe of your brain. It's spreading to the point where you are becoming symptomatic, which might mean you might be at stage 3 or possibly 4. My eyes widened with fear and I clutched my chest out of shock. Cancer? Like cancer? Yes, cancer. I'm sorry to have to tell you this. So does this mean I'm going to die soon? I don't know, Dr. McKnight muttered. Laying there, I didn't know what else to say. So many thoughts flooded my mind that I couldn't even squeeze out another question. Well, based on the CAT scan, we think there is a hope for a treatment. We're going to refer you to the top oncologist here. Cancer is not always a death sentence. We have newer treatments, but at my age, I interrupted. I'm in my late 70s. What kind of real treatment is out there that would really work for someone in my age bracket? Is it even worth it? You never know, Miss Washington. The best thing you can do right now, though, is remain optimistic. He continued. I'll leave you some time to process everything, and I'll go ahead and get into contact with the oncology department to have an appointment set up for you as soon as possible. Okay, was all I could respond as the doctor made his way out of the door. Alice then strolled in right after him. So what's wrong? She asked. I have cancer. Brain cancer. Alice suddenly clasped her mouth and her eyes widened to the size of 2 big moons. Cancer? Yes, cancer. No! She exploded into tears as she made her way over to me. This ain't right. She kept repeating herself as she leaned in to give me a hug. We gotta get you to another doctor ASAP. I mean, how do they even know for sure you got cancer? They could just be telling you anything. You should get a second opinion. Alice, calm down, I said, trying to reassure her, but I was just as nervous and scared as she was. The doctor said he's going to refer me over to an oncologist. Hopefully I can get an appointment first thing in the morning. As Alice managed to calm herself, she and I continued to talk until the doctor came back into the room. After running a few lighter tests, the hospital discharged me and Alice took me back home. As we hit the city streets, it was so crazy how such a beautiful sunny Sunday gave birth to such sad news. My life was coming to an end. Sitting in the passenger seat and staring out of the window, I just wanted to explode into tears, but I had to hold myself together. Although the doctor told me to remain optimistic, there was no way in hell I had it in me to survive something as horrible as cancer. Alice pulled her Camry into the driveway of my townhouse, and as the two of us got out, I could hear some loud bass-heavy music rumbling. Alice threw a look of confusion at me and asked, What in the hell is that noise? I threw a glance of shock right back at her and shrugged my shoulders. Hell, I don't know.
Alexa, pause. Alexa, play.
I'ma call the police, Alice shouted as she quickly rummaged through her purse. Wait, don't do that. I forgot. That's my sister's son. I forgot I left him a key. Confusion suddenly swamped Alice's face. Your sister's son? You got a sister? I thought you only had a brother. Girl, I got a half-sister that I didn't really tell anyone about. My father was a Rolling Stone. You know how that goes. I fibbed. I had to make some shit up quick. Oh, damn, Alice mumbled, then got quiet.
Yo.
She trailed me as I made my way up to the front door.
Alexa,
What?
pause. Alexa, play.
Once I unlocked the door and opened it, a plume of smoke escaped the front door. The smoke was thicker than molasses and it reeked of weed. Percy! Percy! I screeched out. Cut that goddamn music off. We got company. The hell is wrong with you? Girl, is everything all right? You sure you don't want me to call the police? Alice asked as her voice turned high-pitched and filled with nervousness. No, don't do that. I'ma get his ass right. I couldn't believe Percy was doing this to me right now. I hadn't even been gone the entire day, and this trifling nigga was already turning my house into a pigsty. The music was so loud. When I made my way past the foyer and into the living room, I noticed the music was playing from my television, and a speaker system was hooked up to it. I didn't even realize them speakers could get that damn loud. Percy, bring your ass out here right now, I yelled. Calm down, Vernita. You don't want to get yourself too worked up, Alice pleaded, but her words went through one ear and out the other. I was ready to kill this nigga. This was just entirely too disrespectful. From the way he'd been talking to me, to him not wanting my breakfast, then to add fuel to the fire, I was now walking around with a motherfucking tumor in my head that could kill me at any moment.
Alexa, pause. Alright, so this is the look. Something cute, something simple, just a little bit of blue. So far, let's talk about this book. This book is very, very spicy. Not at all what I thought it was going to be, but I must say I'm truly enjoying it, and I can't wait till next week where we're going to come back, do more makeup, and listen to more of this book. I do want to thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. We are at the end. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell. That way you'll be notified every single time I post something new. Again, my name is Shay, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, friends.
Julie, do the thing.